Greetings everyone, welcome to a new episode of MrBioinformatiX. You've probably heard that you only need 7 to 9 hours of sleep a day, but the full story is more complex and could lead to serious consequences. According to the National Sleep Foundation, the average adult needs 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night, though individual needs can vary. Before we dive into these factors, it's important first understand why we need to sleep. On 16th of January 2007, systems biologist Van Savage and theoretical physicist Geoffrey West, they discovered why small mammals with high metabolic rates like mice sleep much longer, around 14 hours a day, compared to large mammals with low metabolic rates like elephants, which sleep only 3.5 hours per day. They concluded that sleep's core function is to repair, reorganize, and maintain brain's neurons, which consumes more energy per unit mass than any other tissue. This idea is supported by the significant finding that sleep helps clear toxic metabolic debris, including amyloid beta. What is amyloid beta? Amyloid beta is a protein generated by neural activity and accumulated during wakefulness. On 22nd of June 2008, researchers from Harvard Medical School published a study titled Amyloid Beta Protein Dimers Isolated Directly from Alzheimer's Brain to Impair Synaptic Plasticity and Memory. The study investigated amyloid beta protein dimers, which are small clusters of proteins found in the brain of people with Alzheimer's disease. By examining these clusters, the researchers found that they impair the brain's ability to adapt and form new memories, a process known as synaptic plasticity. Sleep plays a great role in eliminating waste products that are potentially harmful for our brain. For this reason, long-term sleep disruptions may drive the advancement of such neurological conditions, such as Parkinson's and Alzheimer's disease. Not only Alzheimer's disease, but there are more studies suggesting links between amyloid beta and Down syndrome. Researchers from University of Wisconsin Medicine, University of Pittsburgh, and an Institute for Basic Research in Developmental Disabilities, or IBR, they found that adults with Down syndrome had accumulation of amyloid in association with evidence of Alzheimer's disease, including declines in cognitive functioning, memory, and fine motor movements. This all highlights that sleep is essential for brain functioning. On 16th of January 2009, researchers from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, they published a study under the name Perceived Insufficient Rest or Sleep Among Adults Data. This study revealed that 29 of Americans report getting insufficient sleep on most nights. Can you imagine, my friend? Third of the American people don't sleep well. 50 to 70 million have chronic sleep and wakefulness disorders, and this number is expected to rise. Can you imagine how many people are struggling with chronic sleep issues today, especially with the presence of modern technology like smartphones and screens, or applications like Netflix and Amazon Prime? These widespread sleep deficits have significant health implications. Rigorous physiological studies have demonstrated that sleep deprivation badly affects our health. But how does sleep deprivation affect our health badly? On 8th of February 2011, the American Journal of Epidemiology, they published a compelling study involving 1,916 pre-adolescent children in Quebec, Canada. The researchers discovered that reducing sleep duration by just 1 hour at age 10 significantly increased the risk of obesity by age 13. Can you imagine that even 1 hour reduction in the sleep can lead to significant health problems? Someone might say, yes, Mr. Bioinformatics, but that's just for children. Maybe they are vulnerable and more affected. On 16th of October 2012, researchers from the University of Chicago published a study showing that just 4 days of not getting enough sleep can significantly impact your body uses insulin. Insulin is a hormone made by the beta cells in the pancreas that helps our body convert sugar from the food we eat into energy. When you don't get enough sleep, your body becomes less effective at using insulin, requiring nearly 3 times as much to keep your blood sugar levels normal. This reduced insulin sensitivity leads to higher blood sugar levels, which can increase the risk of developing type 2 diabetes and other metabolic issues. A year later, in March 2013, researchers from the University of Colorado published a study showing that just 5 days of insufficient sleep increased the daily energy expenditure by about 5%, but led to an excess energy intake, especially at night. This resulted in an average weight gain of 0.82 kg over 5 days. Despite the changes in hunger-related hormones, women in particular showed decreased dietary restraint and weight gain with insufficient sleep. A year later, on 14th of October 2014, a study with the persistent insomnia is associated with the mortality risk. It was published by researchers from the University of Arizona. It's a 20-year study that showed that people with persistent insomnia had higher level of a marker for inflammation, which is serum C reactive protein, and were more likely to die compared to those without insomnia. Serum C reactive protein is a substance produced by the liver in response to inflammation in the body, and the elevated levels are often linked to an increased risk of heart disease and other serious health conditions. Of the 1,409 adult participants, 249, which is 18%, had intermittent, and 128, which is 9%, had persistent insomnia. Among the all participants, 318 participants died. That's crazy because that's more than 22%. These studies led the National Sleep Foundation to update its sleep duration recommendation to 12 to 16 hours for infants, 9 to 12 hours for school-aged children, 8 to 10 hours for teenagers, and more than 7 hours for adults. So now, is it all about the hours? If yes, then how sometimes we sleep and woke up tired? Besides age, there are several factors that can affect the sleep needs, such as health conditions. For example, pregnant women need about 9 hours of sleep. Also, sleep quality is very important, because maybe you sleep 8 hours, but you woke up many times, which means bad sleep quality. In addition, physical activity is a strong factor, as male and female swimmers who extended their sleep to 10 hours also saw many performance improvements. A Stanford study of men's basketball players who extended their sleep to 10 hours a night found several positive outcomes. The players ran faster in both half-court and full-court sprints. Their shooting improved by at least 9% for both free throws and three-point shots. On 21st of April 2015, an article was published on BBC Report. It said that tennis greater Roger Federer and basketball star LeBron James are both advocates of sleeping for upwards of 10 hours per night. External research shows that performance benefits of proper rest for athletes. Also, Real Madrid have 81 bedrooms at their training complex for players and staff to take a siesta, usually at 1 p.m. every afternoon. Tell me in the comment if you support Real Madrid. The players and staff for 2 hours, they rest and nap, which helps them recharge and maintain peak performance levels. This practice is part of the club's strategy to maximize their players' physical and mental recovery. Viva Madrid! My dear viewer, your body is incredibly intelligent and won't be easily deceived. It craves 7 to 9 hours of sleep, and if you don't meet this need, it will create a sleep deficit. For instance, if you need 7 hours but only get 5 hours, you accumulate 2 hours sleep debt. Recovering from this sleep debt is slow. It takes about 4 days to recover from just 1 hour of lost sleep. My dear viewer, maintaining a consistent sleep schedule that fits your lifestyle is crucial for long-term health and well-being. But what if you don't? That's where naps comes into play. In 2019, a study done by the University Hospital of Lausanne, they tracked the napping habits of nearly 3,500 people over 5 years, and found that those who napped once or twice a week were 48 less likely to have a cardiovascular disease than those who didn't. Conversely, a meta-analysis of 11 studies published in the journal Sleep in 2015 showed people who napped for an hour or more a day had 1.82 times the rate of cardiovascular disease than the people who didn't nap. And in 2013, a study titled "Habitual Napping May Help Preserve Brain Size and Delay Aging" by researchers from the University College London or UCL and the University of the Republic in the Uruguay revealed that regular napping could benefit brain health. Analyzing data from 35,000 people aged 40 to 69 from the United Kingdom Biobank, the researchers found that those who napped several times a week had brains more than 15 cubic centimeters larger than those who didn't nap. This increase in brain size may delay brain aging by 3 to 6 years, according to Victoria Garfield, a senior research fellow at UCL. Garfield also said that the big finding was that daytime napping is causally linked to having a larger brain volume. The brain naturally shrinks with age, and a smaller brain volume has been linked to a wide range of disease. For example, people who have a smaller brain volume are more likely to have higher level of stress hormone cortisol, or diagnosis of sleep apnea, or may have cardiovascular disease. Dr. Michael Grandner, the director of the Sleep and Health Research Program at the University of Arizona, noted that a power nap lasting between 15 to 45 minutes can boost memory and reduce fatigue. Studies suggest that such naps can be as effective as a cup of coffee. For example, Google and NASA even incorporate nap time to their schedules. You, my poor friend, will be fired if your manager caught you sleepy. In addition to long-term benefits, short naps of 5 to 15 minutes can enhance mental performance for several hours. For example, Kevin Morgan, a sleep expert at the University of Loughborough, notes that napping is increasingly recognized in sports science for improving performance and mood. Elite athletes, including snooker player Ronnie O'Sullivan and ultramarathon runner Camille Herron, integrate napping into their routines to boost their physical and cognitive abilities. But which hour is good to take a nap? For an effective nap between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. This timing aligns with a natural drop in body temperature and helps avoiding disrupting nighttime sleep. But take care, my viewer, too much of good thing can be bad. Although short naps can give you a quick energy boost, long naps can mess with your nighttime sleep. Experts warn that napping should not replace a good nighttime sleep. Colin Espy, a sleep medicine professor at the University of Oxford, says that napping is usually a sign that you're not getting sufficient sleep. Frequent naps may indicate issues with nighttime sleep or lifestyle choices. Espy stresses we need to protect nighttime sleep and not just rely on daytime naps. Kevin Morgan also notes that while napping can benefit those who need it, it's not necessary for everyone. Napping works for those who can manage it, but isn't universally needed. We should not only depend on naps, because there are other factors that can affect how we sleep. For example, on 25th of November 2014, a study conducted by researchers from Oregon Health and Science University, Portland State University, and Harvard was accepted for publication. The study revealed how a simple change at work could improve the sleep quality. The researchers investigated whether altering the way managers and employees collaborate could enhance both quality and quantity of sleep. The study involved managers and employees participating in 3-month program that aimed to reduce work-family conflict. This program included group discussions, role-playing, and games. And to see if the program worked, researchers used special rest device to track how long and how well people slept. They took measurement for a week at the start of the study, and again 12 months later. Out of 701 people who completed the 12 months follow-up, 595 wore the rest device, and the researcher focused on data from those who wore the device for at least 3 days. This shows that improving workplace conditions can help address sleep problems. The results were clear. People in the program slept 8 minutes more per day than those who weren't in the program, and they felt that they were getting enough sleep more often. Although the program didn't directly focusing on sleep, it helped people sleep better by giving them more control over their work hours and reducing conflicts between work and family. This shows that improving work conditions can help address sleep problems. My dear viewer, work conditions and schedules affect our sleep. For example, chronic disruption of sleep and circadian rhythm, such as that caused by night shift work, significantly increased risk of several cancers, including breast, endometrial, colorectal, and prostate cancer. Do you know that the WHO has classified night shift work as a probable carcinogen? Additionally, extended work shifts lasting more than 25 hours are linked to poorer performance on clinical tasks and higher risks of serious medical problems, preventable adverse events, self-inflicted injuries, and motor vehicle accidents among residents' physicians. Similarly, 12-hour shifts and frequent overtime are associated with a higher risk of making mistakes and experiencing occupational injuries. Reflecting on our own experience, think about those all-nighters were pulled before exams, staying awake to cram as much as possible. Now you might understand why sometimes you forget information during the exams that you were sure you knew, or why you might miss additional questions on the back of the exam paper. Lack of sleep impairs our cognitive functions and attention, leading to such issues. Thanks God, my friend, that we're still alive. Someone might ask, is it all about sleeping from 7 to 9 hours? What if I sleep 7 to 9 hours and still feel tired? While getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep is essential, it's not just about the quantity but also the quality. It's not just about how long you sleep, but how well you sleep. For example, tossing and turning or frequent awakenings indicate poor sleep quality. So how do I know if I sleep well or not? The National Sleep Foundation highlights 4 aspects to measure sleep quality. Wakefulness, which means the time you spend awake after initially falling asleep. Sleep latency means how long it takes to fall asleep. Sleep efficiency, which is the proportion of time spent asleep while lying in bed. And finally, sleep waking, how often you wake up during the night. Evaluating these factors can help you assess if you are getting good quality of sleep. It's important to ask yourself questions like, do you wake up often? Do you struggle to fall asleep? And so on. To better understand the sleep quality, we need to know what sleep is. According to the Division of Sleep Medicine at Harvard Medical School, sleep is a natural state of rest where the body and mind reduce activity and awareness, characterized by specific brain activity and changes in heart rate, breathing, and body temperature. The sleep cycle or the sleep dream cycle is the period of time it takes to transition through the 4 stages of sleep, as we have 4 stages or 4 cycles of sleep. A sleep cycle takes between 90 to 110 minutes, but can extend up to 2 hours. However, like all aspects of sleep, the sleep cycle duration varies depending on various factors. For example, the sleep cycle for infants lasting about 50 to 60 minutes. Generally, if you sleep between 7 to 9 hours a night, you will go through between 4 to 6 cycles. But how to maintain a healthy sleep cycle? In order to maintain a healthy sleep cycle, consider implementing a few key practices. First, turn off all artificial lighting sources before bedtime to help signal to your body that it's time to wind down. Practicing good sleep hygiene, such as keeping your bedroom cool and comfortable, is also crucial. Incorporating relaxation techniques or meditation can further prepare your mind and body for restful sleep. Additionally, avoid consuming caffeine in the afternoon and evening, as it can interfere with your ability to fall asleep and disrupt your sleep cycle.